The Robinson family got lost in space.
Yeah, the series was set in the far future, 1997.
1997.
Do you have a name?
My name's Will Robinson, sir. And I'm not a toy, I'm a boy.
Oh, nonsense, nonsense.
Lost in Space isn't just retro TV, it's a vault of secrets. Most fans remember the campy humor and the robot's iconic warnings, but few realize the chaos behind the scenes. Did you know the most memorable character wasn't even in the original pilot? Or that a live llama nearly ruined an episode? If you love classic sci-fi, backstage drama, or hidden TV history, this is for you. We've uncovered forgotten facts, rare cast confessions, and production quirks from trusted interviews, archives, and insiders. Buckle up, these 20 facts will change how you see the show forever. Chapter 2, The Great Vegetable Rebellion Number 20. The Great Vegetable Rebellion, by its third season, Lost in Space had leaned fully into absurdity, and no episode proved that more than The Great Vegetable Rebellion. In this notorious installment, the Robinson family encounters a sentient, human-sized carrot named Tybo, yes, a talking vegetable who turns the crew into plant life. Even die-hard fans found the premise difficult to defend. Behind the scenes, writer Peter Packer was reportedly so embarrassed by the script that he tried to hide it from actor Jonathan Harris before filming. As if a humanoid carrot wasn't enough, the production team originally planned to include a live llama in the episode. However, the llama kept spitting at the cast and crew, making it impossible to film. The animal was quickly written out, but the damage was already done. The episode became infamous not just for its surreal plot, but for symbolizing the creative extremes the show had reached. This episode aired just 1 week before the series finale. Some fans and critics believe its over-the-top silliness may have contributed to the show's cancellation. Whether you love it or cringe at it, The Great Vegetable Rebellion remains one of the strangest hours of television ever produced. If this detail felt unexpected, the next one will make you question everything. Chapter 3, Dr. Smith Number 19. Dr. Smith wasn't supposed to stay. Dr. Zachary Smith, the despicable, cowardly saboteur and now a comedic icon, was never meant to last in the family. He never existed in the unaired pilot of Lost in Space, a character conceived thereafter to lend conflict to the Robinsons' journey with an eye toward being the most unidimensional of villains whose betrayal would send the family off course. But Jonathan Harris saw potential in that character and therefore decided to play it differently. Instead of pure evil, Harris gradually made Dr. Smith full of himself, constantly dishing witty insults and melodramatic flourishes. The producers began to notice that as the show transitioned toward comedy, Harris's antics, initially thought too much, gave new life to the show. Fans responded, and a character designed for quick extinction instead gained a permanent status. Dr. Smith became the most recognizable and quotable character in the show, often holding up all attention with the line, "Oh, the pain." Such was the success of his uncharacteristic transition to comic relief that it went on to redefine the very identity of the show. Barring the nuisance of Dr. Smith, Lost in Space would have faded long ago. Chapter 4, The Special Guest Star Number 18. The special guest star power move. Jonathan Harris wasn't just smart in how he played Dr. Smith, he was just as savvy behind the scenes. When he joined Lost in Space, Harris made a bold request. Instead of being listed as a regular cast member, he wanted to be credited as a special guest star. This was highly unusual, especially for someone appearing in every single episode of the show. But Harris believed the label added a sense of prestige and uniqueness to his role. Producers agreed, and from that point on, Harris received special guest star billing in every episode, despite essentially being a lead character. It was a move that not only boosted his visibility but also separated him from the rest of the ensemble in the eyes of viewers and the industry. No one else in the main cast had this kind of credit. This title gave Harris leverage and reinforced the on-screen persona he had shaped for Dr. Smith, a character who thought he was above everyone else. In a way, the credit became an extension of the character's personality. It was a calculated decision that paid off, making Harris and Dr. Smith stand out in TV history. Chapter 5, Off-Screen Romance Between Cast Members Number 17. Off-screen romance between cast members while Lost in Space presented the adventures of a family in front of the camera. Other dynamics were developing behind it. Billy Mumy, a small but curious Will Robinson, became good friends with Angela Cartwright, who played his sister Penny. The friendship blossomed into a romance as they matured. By the time Mumy was offered a driver's license, he and Cartwright were seriously dating. The relationship lasted for several years, long after the cancellation of the series. In fact, they were even engaged briefly, something few fans knew about. It was the first serious romance for both, made more special in the fact that they practically grew up together on the set. Also, even though they eventually grew apart, Mumi and Cartwright stayed close friends throughout the decades that followed. Thus, the romance behind the scenes gave their on-screen chemistry a little bit more substance. In that mix was never-ending sibling rivalry, which at times was influenced and propelled by a real and budding off-screen relationship. For all the spaceships and campy monsters, this story was one of Lost in Space's very few moments of genuine human emotion. Chapter 6. Smith and Robot Missing in Pilot Number 16. Smith and Robot Missing in Pilot. The Lost in Space most fans remember was not the version that producers originally pitched. In the unaired pilot titled No Place to Hide, there was no Dr. Smith and no robot, two of the most iconic elements of the series. The story focused solely on the Robinson family and Major Don West as they embarked on their space mission. Their journey was disrupted not by sabotage, but by a random meteor storm that knocked them off course. This original version was more grounded and serious, lacking the campy flair that later defined the show. After reviewing the pilot, network executives felt it needed more conflict, color, and charisma. That led to the addition of Dr. Smith, who would sabotage the mission, and the robot, who would become both a tool and a comedic companion. These last-minute changes transformed the show's tone and future. It's hard to imagine Lost in Space without Dr. Smith's dramatics or the robot's famous "Danger, Will Robinson" warning. Yet, if the pilot had gone forward as is, audiences might have ended up with a very different and possibly less memorable series. Continued in same paragraph format until end without skipping any words.